Have you ever really stopped to think about the path your money takes once it hits your bank account? It seems like a simple question, right? But the answer is pretty much everything. It's what separates the poor, the middle class, and the truly wealthy. So let's actually break that down.
No, seriously, take a second and think about it. Paycheck comes in, and then what? Where does that money actually go? Does it just kind of disappear by the end of the month? Or does it stick around and start working for you? Because that flow, that specific path your money takes, is the single biggest thing that decides your financial future. It's honestly more important than how much you earn. And today, we're going to map out exactly what that looks like.
See, it turns out there are really only three paths your money can take. This whole idea was laid out perfectly by Anchor Warrico after he read a certain book as a teenager. I'm talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
And that one very important thing is what this whole explainer is really about. It's a concept that is so simple, but once you get it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. And it all boils down to knowing the difference between two little words. Now, the two most common paths, well, they lead right into a trap. It's a place where you look rich, but you're actually just running in place. And to really get why, we need to get two definitions absolutely crystal clear. First up, an asset. An asset is anything, literally anything that puts money in your pocket. That's it. If it makes you money, it's an asset. And a liability? Well, you can probably guess. It's the exact opposite. It's anything that takes money out of your pocket, anything that costs you money just to have it. Okay, and this is where it gets super interesting because this one little rule flips a lot of what we're taught on its head. So stocks that pay you dividends? Asset. A property you rent out to someone else? Total asset. But the house you actually live in? Nope, that's a liability. It's constantly taking money out of your pocket for maintenance, for taxes. And your car, your phone, all those nice clothes? Liabilities, every single one of them. So let's look at path number one. This is the path of the poor mindset. It's really simple. Income comes in, and it goes straight out to cover expenses. Needs and wants. Money in, money out. By the end of the month, the account is pretty much back to zero. There's just nothing left to build with. All right, path two. This is the one most people are on, and it is so deceptive. This is the middle class path. Here, income comes in, it covers your expenses, sure, but then all the rest of the money goes to buying liabilities. A bigger house, a fancier car, the newest phone, and usually they're bought with loans. And here's the catch. Those new liabilities create even more expenses, like EMIs, interest payments, and it just traps you in this endless cycle. And this is exactly why it's such a dangerous trap. Think about it. Everyone sees your fancy car, but what they don't see is the massive loan you have on it. They see the beautiful house, not the mortgage that's crushing you. This whole path is about looking wealthy, but behind the scenes, you're just piling up things that drain your money, making it almost impossible to ever build real wealth. But there is a third path, and this is the one. This is the path that breaks that cycle. This is how you build real, actual, lasting wealth. Okay, so here's the big secret. On the wealthy path, your income comes in, you cover your basic expenses, and then you use the rest to buy assets. Things like stocks, a side business, rental properties. But here's where the magic happens. Those assets start generating more income for you. And what do you do with that new income? You use it to buy even more assets. It creates this incredible, powerful cycle that just keeps growing on its own. And look, this isn't just some nice-sounding theory. By sticking to this third path, Ankur Warikoo built a personal net worth of over 21 crore rupees. It's just proof of what happens when you decide to send your money to buy assets, not liabilities. So the big question is, how do you get on this path? Well, it's not just about crunching numbers. It's a fundamental shift in how you even think about money. It all starts with thinking like an investor, not just an employee. Stop just thinking about your salary and start thinking about how to make every rupee you have work for you. You also have to accept that this is a long-term game. Real wealth doesn't happen overnight. And you've got to be smart about who you hang out with. Surround yourself with people who talk about growth, not just spending. And finally, you have to commit to building your financial intelligence, learning about this stuff and actually doing it. Okay, so that's the big picture mindset. But what about right now? What are the practical first steps you can take, like today? It's way simpler than you might think. It really just boils down to three things. First, measure. You can't change what you don't track, so you gotta start tracking every single rupee. Your bank statement is your best friend here. Second, analyze. Go through that statement line by line, and for every expense, ask yourself that one critical question. Was this an asset or was this a liability? And finally, the most powerful step of all, automate. Set up an automatic transfer for at least 10% of your income to go straight into your investments. Do it the day you get paid, before you even get a chance to touch it.
So there you have it. Those are the 3 paths. Your money is going to flow down one of them, whether you're paying attention or not. The game is wide open and the choice is yours. So the only question left is, which path are you going to choose?